friends, this is Katerina from the Evolution of Stitches. Welcome to my channel. In this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful pattern that you can use to create a shawl wrap or anything really that you can think of. This pattern looks a bit complicated, but it's actually a very easy pattern. Please follow me and find out how easy it is. For this tutorial I'm going to use this yarn, which is 95% acrylic and 5% metallic. Of course you can use any other yarn. My hook size is 2.5 millimeters. Now I need to start my foundation row by crocheting chains. The number of chains should be a multiple of 6. For this tutorial I'm going to crochet 42 chains. Of course, when you crochet a wrap, you should crochet the number of chains you need to get the width you like your shawl to be. So please let me crochet 42 chains and I will get back to you. I have crocheted my 42 chains for the tutorial and now I'm ready to start my first row. This is a 2-row pattern, and for the first row what you need to do is to count 12 chains, so here, and insert your hook into the 12th chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through, so create a single crochet stitch in this 12th chain. And now I am going to create puff stitches in the same place. So first I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to pull up a loop on my hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the space here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then I'm going to pull up all the loops on my hook like this, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through again. And in this way I have created my first puff stitch. If you like, you can insert your hook more times so you have more loops on your hook. It depends on how puffy you would like your puff stitches to be. So now again I'm going to create another puff stitch. First I'm going to chain 1 and then I'm going to pull up the loop on my hook and insert my hook in the previous puff stitch here. And I'm going to pull up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. The same number of loops I had in this puff stitch. Again, I'm going to finish the puff stitch like this. So now there are 2 puff stitches that I have created in the same chain space. Now I will chain 1 and I am going to count 6 chains on my foundation row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains, and I'm going to insert my hook here and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through and create a single crochet stitch like this. Now I will crochet 9 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains on the foundation row, insert my hook into the 6th chain and create a single crochet stitch. And again I am going to crochet 2 puff stitches in the same place. So first a chain and then I'm going to pull up my loop on the hook and insert my hook here in the chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, pull up all the loops on my hook. There is a video tutorial if you would like to watch, and finish my puff stitch in this way. Now I need to create one more puff stitch. So now again I am going to chain 1, and I have 6 more chains from the foundation row. I'm at the end of the row, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to insert my hook in the last one and create a single crochet stitch. And in this way I have finished my first row. Now I'm ready to start my second row. Of course, when you crochet a wrap, you should create more groups of puff stitches and chain spaces. Now let me start my second row. So now I'm at the end of my row. I am going to crochet 12 chains. Now I'm going to turn, and in the space between the first group of puff stitches here, I am going to create a new puff stitch. First, I'm going to insert my hook, crochet a single crochet stitch here between the two puff stitches, and now I'm going to chain 1, pull up the loop on my hook and insert my hook 5 times like this. Then yarn over, pull through all loops, yarn over and pull through again. And in this way I have crocheted 1 puff stitch, my first puff stitch of the second row, between the 2 puff stitches of the previous row. Now I am going to create 1 more puff stitch. So chain 1, pull up the loop and insert my hook into the previous puff stitch for 5 times. Make sure that you pull up your loops. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. And in this way I have created 1 group of 2 puff stitches on the second row. Now I am going to chain 1 and make sure that you are working on the right side. So this is the foundation row, these are my 9 chains. So I have crocheted 1 chain. I'm going to insert my hook into this space and create a single crochet stitch. I'm going to crochet 9 chains. And then I'm going to insert my hook into this group of 2 puff stitches and create a single crochet stitch like this. So again I'm going to chain 1 and create a puff stitch. I pull up the loop, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I have finished my first puff stitch, chain 1 and 1 more of puff stitch onto the previous puff stitch. Like this. So now I have finished my group of 2 puff stitches, chain 1, and now I'm going to insert my hook here in the chain space and create a single crochet stitch. And again I am going to crochet 9 chains and insert my hook into this space between the puff stitches and create a single crochet stitch and chain 1 and create my group of puff stitches. Chain 1 again, pull up a loop, insert my hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, pull up all my loops and secure my puff stitch. So now I have my group of 2 puff stitches here. So now again I'm going to chain 1. I'm at the end of the row, so here I'm going to crochet a single crochet stitch, and in this way I have finished my second row. Now I'm going to repeat the first row. The first thing that I'm going to do is to crochet 12 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Turn, and as you understand, here between my puff stitches I'm going to crochet a single crochet stitch. I'm going to chain 1, pull up the loop on my hook, yarn over, insert my hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and in this way I have crocheted the first puff stitch of the third row. Chain 1 again, pull up the loop, make sure that you pull up your loop long enough, and insert my hook into the previous puff stitch for 5 times, like this. So now again I have created 2 puff stitches here. Chain 1, here I have the chain space, so now I'm going to insert my hook into the 9 chain space and create a single crochet stitch. I am going to crochet 9 chains again and get here between my 2 puff stitches. I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop and yarn over, pull through, create a single crochet stitch, and now chain 1, pull up a loop and create a puff stitch again. My first puff stitch for this group, chain 1, pull up the loop and insert my hook into the previous puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through. Chain 1 and insert my hook into the chain space. I create a single crochet stitch. Now again 9 chains, and insert my hook between the 2 puff stitches. I'm creating a single crochet stitch, chain 1, pull up the loop and crochet a puff stitch here as well. Like this. Chain 1 again, I'll pull up the loop, I'll insert my hook 5 times, and secure it. And now I'm going to chain 1. I have reached the end of the row, so here I'm going to just insert my hook and create a single crochet stitch, and in this way I have finished my third row. We continue in exactly the same way. This pattern looks complicated, but it's not. So again I'm going to crochet 12 chains, turn, insert my hook in here between the puff stitches, a single crochet stitch, chain 1 and pull up a loop. Make sure that you have a long loop, and here I'm going to create a puff stitch by inserting my hook 5 times, like this. Now 1 chain, pull up the loop and create the second puff stitch. like this. And as you know now, I'm going to chain 1 and insert my hook into the chain space, yarn over and pull through, so create a single crochet stitch. Now I'm going to chain 9, insert my hook between the 2 puff stitches, create a single crochet stitch, chain 1 long loop on my hook, and insert my hook 5 times in the same space. Like this. Now I'm going to chain 1, pull up the loop and create 1 more puff stitch. And 1 chain, insert my hook into the 9 chain space, yarn over and pull through, so create a single crochet stitch. And now again I'm going to crochet 9 chains, insert my hook in between the 2 puff stitches, 1 single crochet stitch, 1 chain, 1 long loop, and create a puff stitch. Like this, chain 1 long loop, and insert my hook 5 times. And secure it. So in this way I have my group of 2 puff stitches, chain 1 and insert my hook into the 9 chain space and create a single crochet stitch. So now I have repeated my pattern 2 times. I have crocheted 4 rows in total. Let me show you one more repeat. So again I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chains. Turn. When you turn, it's easier if you place your finger here. Insert my hook between the puff stitches and yarn over, pull through, so create a single crochet stitch, 1 chain, a long loop, and insert the hook for 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and create a puff stitch, a chain, 1 long loop, and another puff stitch on top of the other. So 2 puff stitches, 1 chain, insert the hook into the chain space and create a single crochet stitch. And now I'm going to crochet 9 chains and insert my hook in between the puff stitches, a single crochet stitch, 1 chain, a long loop, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times like this. Create a puff stitch, 1 chain, a long loop, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and another puff stitch in this way, 1 chain, a single crochet stitch in the chain space. And now again I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, insert my hook between the puff stitches, a single crochet stitch, a chain, a long loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. My puff stitch is ready, a chain, 1 loop, and 5 times in the same place. Like this. In this way I have finished 2 puff stitches, chain 1 and insert my hook into the chain space and create a single crochet stitch. Now I have finished my 5th row and I'm ready to crochet my 6th row. So 12 chains, turn. Now I'm going to insert my hook between the puff stitches and create a single crochet stitch, a chain, a long loop. I'm going to insert my hook 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, yarn over and pull through, and 1 chain, pull up a loop and create the second puff stitch. So like this. Now a chain and here a single crochet stitch. And now again I'm going to chain 9 and insert my hook between the 2 puff stitches, crochet a single crochet stitch, a chain, I'm pulling up a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, yarn over and pull through, a chain, a loop, and my next puff stitch, like this, a chain, insert the hook into the chain space and create a single crochet stitch. And now I'm going to crochet 9 chains, and again I'm going to insert my hook here, a single crochet stitch, a chain, a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, a chain, a long loop, and 1 more puff stitch. Like this. And now chain 1, insert my hook into the chain space and create a single crochet stitch. In this way I have crocheted the pattern for 6 rows and I have repeated it for 3 times. So this is the way we crochet this pattern. Of course, when you crochet your wrap, you should crochet the length you prefer, and also when you finish you can add a border or tassels or whatever you prefer. I hope you liked my tutorial. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to read your comments, or if you need any help, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye for now and see you soon. Bye.